The primary language lessons book from Emma Serl. This is the first one. There are two of them. This would be the first one. You would generally start this for about grades 2nd and 3rd grade. You could easily go into 4th grade as well. I'm going to pause the video. You can read this. So basically, it is assumed that the child will learn to speak and write correctly by imitation. So this is a curriculum that is not a non-consumable. So you can reuse this book for other children. You want to pause the video and you can take a look at that. You basically just need to teach reading, writing, and arithmetic. A noun is a noun, whether they start in the 2nd grade or they are introduced to what a noun is in the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th grade. A noun is a noun, pronoun is a pronoun, adjective, adverb, it's all the same, it will not change. There's no sense in beating a dead horse and trying to get the child to remember what nouns are when they are only 6, 7, 8 years old. So here is a picture from a painting by Landseer, Piper and Nutcrackers. And then over here would be lesson 1 regarding the painting, lesson 2. You can pause the video. So I'm going to flip through this a little quicker, and if you want to pause the video to look at each one, you can. So this book, one book, you can spread out easily over 2 years. Like I said, either 2nd and 3rd grade, but I really would wait until more like 3rd or 4th grade, 3rd and 4th grade. So just hit pause and you can look over each page, each lesson, to get a really good idea as to what to expect when purchasing this curriculum. This is more of a Charlotte Mason type approach, although I don't believe that this is a Charlotte Mason book. I think it was just a recreation from a 1911 book originally. I've been purchasing some vintage curriculum, language arts curriculum, math books for my children, books that were published, textbooks actually, for the public school system, textbooks that were published before the 1940s, 1950s, and a lot of the learning style. It's very similar to this. This reminds me a lot of the language arts public school curriculums. A lot of the vintage books that I've been purchasing, that they're so old from the early 1900s, and one I even got from 1898, I think. They still mention God. They still talk about nature. They still talk about a creator. So even though I was originally hesitant to purchase a public school book, because obviously we know the indoctrination of the public school system on the minds of our children, the attack on us as parents using our children, it seems to be that the public school textbooks don't look anything like the textbooks of today, and they actually look a lot like maybe a Charlotte Mason approach, and they are still more, they were godly in nature. Not just godly in nature, but they were family oriented. A lot of the books that I have, even a math book for my son, I have to look at it, I think it's from the 1940s. It has it does not have the breakdown of the family in there. I mean, granted, it's talking about maybe I think one chapter was about monkeys, and I mean that, you know, they had the father monkey and the mother monkey and the children, and they were all part of the family. So it's just, they just haven't. It's not broke down the agendas, I guess, which would say the agendas of evil it doesn't appear to have been in the public school textbooks from that long ago. So I'm just going to flip through this kind of quickly and pause here on each page briefly, and you just pause the video so that you can look at the curriculum a little bit better. These books, what I've learned from these types of books, using them as your textbooks, instead of the typical workbook type of language arts curriculum with so many other curriculum providers, these leave more, this type of material doesn't seem to kill the child's love of learning as much as the other workbooks do. And the one thing you want most, or the number one thing you want out of when your homeschooling journey is finished, the one thing you want your child to walk away with is a love of learning, because we know that we need to learn for the rest of our lives. Everything we do. We don't know everything. We need to research how to do something. We need to learn it. We need someone else to show us how to do something. So it's just you want to cultivate a love for learning. And you really don't want to damage. The other thing is, you just don't want to damage the parent-child relationship. And that relationship is so important. I can't express how important that relationship is. And a lot of parents, and I've even fallen victim to this myself, and I've had to catch myself numerous times. What am I doing? Why does he need to underline the noun in these 20 sentences and then give it to me for me to check to make sure it's correct? That's not the relationship that I wanted to have with my child. I wanted to do the work together. Wanted, if he gets an answer correct, want to tickle him, tell him well done. And if I don't know the answer, I want us to both look it up together. Because some of these things I'm learning right along with him, or did learn right along with him. I actually have one that my oldest has just graduated. I have a 12-year-old. He's been homeschooling from day one. And I have a 6-year-old. He's been homeschooling from day one. And I praise God every day that I had the opportunity and the freedom to homeschool my child, so that my husband and I are the main influence of their lives or in their lives, just to cultivate that parent-child relationship to the end. It's extremely important. When you put a child in public school, you don't get to cultivate that relationship. Not as much as you think you do. And some parents who've put their child in public school, they don't realize the relationship that they're missing out on. And they don't know any better. It's what was done to them. It's what was done to me. But when you do know the difference, how grateful you will be for every moment that you get to spend with your child, learning everything there is to learn about life, about relationships, about God, about this world. It's just a wonderful, wonderful experience for both the parent and the children. It doesn't come without its hardships. A lot of the hardships as parents we put on ourselves, like we might watch curriculum videos of other parents, and they buy new curriculums for their child every year, for 3 of their children every year, and they spend upwards of $1,000 on curriculum, and you think, oh, my child has to have completed, I can't buy that curriculum, so I must not be doing a good job. So just comparison is never a good thing with anything. This book is very affordable. Again, it will last you for a couple of years, easily. And it goes all the way up to lesson 164. So you will have 164 lessons in this book to complete with your child. At your child's pace. That is the most important thing. Go at your child's pace. Don't go at the public school's pace. Don't go at the neighbor's pace. Don't go at what your family who worked in the public school or worked for somewhere else is saying, oh, this is where your child should be, and because they're at this age and this is the grade they should be. In the grand scheme of life, that does not matter at all. And when you get to the end of your homeschooling journey, you will discover that. I hope this video was helpful. Here's the back of the book. And have a good day.